Shabbat Mas is not M-A-S-S, it's M-A-A-S. All right, it's announcement time. Rabbi Falick has already started, and we've had wonderful, wonderful meetings with him. And he's going to continue beginning Thursday, November 14th, Torah commentaries at 11 o'clock. All right. She had a wonderful Saturday night, last week. And their their next one is on April the 12th. Okay, so it's early yet to get you tickets. This Thursday forum with Harry Cook is on November 21st and December 12th. And Friday night, November 22nd, Intergeneral Hanukkah dinner, song, session, and story. We're the Maccabees, the good guys. Actually, that's about all. I would ask if Susan Walker would please come up. Susan Walker has something to say.
Yay! This is slightly intimidating because I wasn't expecting to do this till I got here. In terms of getting up to say something. Can you hear me now? Okay. Thank you. What I wanted to mention was if all of you got the Jewish Humanist within the last few days, and on the back they talk about the National Donor Sabbath. And what I wanted to mention is, first of all, I really appreciate the temple for supporting this. And I brought it to their attention a few years ago, and they've just been really amazing at joining with other temples and churches and other faiths all across the country to celebrate this very special time to really promote tissue, organ, site donation. And, in Michigan, there's currently 3,163 people waiting for transplants. And and my passion comes from the fact that I'm a transplant social worker. And so I've seen the wonderful things that people donating can give to others and giving them back life. And what I wanted to mention is that I have my mini iPad with me tonight. And after the service, please feel free to stop by and visit with me. It only takes just a second to sign yourself up on the organ donor registry. All I need is just your driver's license number, and once you're registered, it's done. And in Michigan, there's what's called first-person consent. So even if your loved ones do not agree with your choice, if something unfortunate should happen, that they would honor your wishes. And that's what first-person consent is all about. So thank you very much.
You know we're going to have 5 rabbis this weekend. 5 rabbis all in the same building. So without any further ado, Rabbi Falick.
To quote Genesis, let there be light. Thanks, Rabbi. You told me to say that. Before we begin, there's a flyer that we threw together yesterday. The world's got a lot of sadness in it, but this is a particularly sad thing. The Philippines, of course, as everybody knows, is very hard hit. We have a collection here for our Tzedakah Fund. We're giving money to the Citizens Disaster Response Center through the Foundation Beyond Belief. So please leave a check, some cash. Audrey Pleasant will be happy to take it and help them out. Tonight's readers are, and and thank you to all of them: Alma Stickler, Bill Ernst, Harriet Meza, Jerry Grodsky, Steve Blum, Lynn Master, and Bonnie Cousins. And as we begin our service, I would like to invite up a person who has been extraordinarily important to the history of this congregation to light the first candle, and that is my friend, Helen Foreman. Who are present here. Please join me, and you're going to have to split up the final 6 candles. So. On this Shabbat of celebration, we gather to recall both the joys and the sorrows we have experienced during the 50 years of this groundbreaking community. We begin our reflection with the sentiments of our founder, Rabbi Sherwin Wine. Our congregation is more than just another congregation. It is no mere collection of people. It is a community of friends, an alliance of believers. We are engaged in shared work. We are moved by shared ideals. There is a solidarity of purpose, a union of goals. When we celebrate together. When we need support, we provide it for each other. Our congregation is more than just another organization. It is more than a casual assumption. It is a family of choice, an alliance of like-minded people. Our bonds consist of more than tradition or convenience. We chose to be here because we want to be here. We chose to be here because we need to be here. For standing alone is never as inspiring as standing together.
Please join me in singing.
In August of 1963, 16 families joined Rabbi Sherwin Wine for a gathering in Birmingham, Michigan. Their goal was to explore the establishment of a new suburban Reform temple. Rabbi Wine challenged them with a novel vision of a congregation that would daringly question everything. Though they had no way of knowing it at the time, this congregation would soon introduce the world to a revolutionary approach to Judaism. 8 of the family signed on to the project. They began to pray. They recruited others to join them. Before long, their Reformed temple began to turn into something quite different. Traditional prayers disappeared. Worship was transformed into celebration. The congregation began to attract attention as Rabbi Wine and the members advanced the new philosophy. They also gave it a name. They called it Humanistic Judaism.
Let's all sing together the name Untitled.
Shabbat The very first years of the congregation's life were both exhilarating and exhausting. Humanistic Judaism was not the first attempt to infuse Jewish traditions with new life. The Reformation of Judaism was already well over a century old. Others had endeavored to modernize and update the old prayers and rituals. Others had worked to diminish or eliminate irrational superstitions and antiquated values of the past. Yet none of these reforms had truly pushed the limits. They remained bound to the idea that the salvation of the Jews and humanity lay beyond the natural universe. Humanistic Judaism championed the progressive notion that people alone bear responsibility for human thriving and for the future of the earth. The Birmingham Temple could not hope to embody this philosophy while retaining traditional theistic prayers and practices. Their philosophical commitments called for unprecedented innovations. They understood that while they could happily retain the scaffolding of Jewish life, much of its content was incompatible with a humanistic commitment to truth in word and deed. Underscoring their philosophy in the context of the Jewish experience proved a challenging task. It required them to reimagine and re-engineer every facet of Judaism. They were determined to forge a path that valued integrity, even at the expense of continuity. Jewishness was important. Honesty was decisive.
Please join me in singing.
Trials. There has never been a transformation of any beloved tradition that did not provoke a negative reaction. Humanistic Judaism was no exception. Once the Birmingham Temple began to grow, the congregation aroused the fears and anxieties of most in the Jewish community. As Rabbi Wein wrote, excommunication was out of style, but we often felt excommunicated. There were those who found these pressures too onerous to bear. They abandoned the congregation. Others discovered that opposition to humanistic Judaism inspired them to develop and clearly articulate their hard-won philosophy. Galvanized by these trials, they pledged their mutual support and created a genuine sense of community. Ultimately, the provocations faded away, leaving behind a stronger congregation determined to flourish. New members soon joined the founders. Together, they generated enthusiasm and gathered the resources necessary to provide a physical home for their community. This home, our temple, would also serve as the focal point of a worldwide movement.
Let's all sing together.
Successes. Tonight, as we commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Birmingham Temple, we also celebrate the founding of a movement that encircles the globe. As more people learned about the powerful beliefs of Humanistic Judaism, communities banded together to form the Society for Humanistic Judaism and the International Institute for Secular Humanistic Judaism, along with other organizations necessary to nurture it and spread the word. Simultaneously, Humanistic Judaism's leadership worked vigorously to establish more communities in North America, Israel, and throughout the world. These 50 years of Humanistic Judaism have been a time of enormous transformation of American Jewish life. Every movement now struggles to attract increasingly skeptical new generations. Each of them finds their efforts bearing less and less fruit. Humanistic Judaism, too, has struggled to engage the 21st century Jews.
But Humanistic Judaism possesses one crucial element often missing in other modern Jewish movements. Properly articulated, it has the potential to energize and attract a growing number of disillusioned and unaffiliated Jews. What is this unique element? Humanistic Judaism offers beliefs. It's forward-thinking philosophy, it's relevant, it's welcoming to all. It embraces and articulates the value system of those who have little regard for tradition's sake. Alongside these deeply held beliefs, Humanistic Judaism provides the substantial rewards of membership in a community of caring, loving, and supportive people.
Please join me in singing.
Before I begin the installation, I wanted to acknowledge Sandy Horowitz, who is one of the composers of There's a Place, a song that we have started to sing almost every week. So Sandy, please welcome and stand up. You know how we love this song. So I think I need you up here, otherwise I'm going to be doing this. As the rabbi of the Society for Humanistic Judaism, I am honored to be here, and as Rabbi Jeffrey L. Falick's colleague and friend, thrilled to install him as the rabbi of the Birmingham Temple. Jeff it's with heartfelt joy and great privilege that I stand with you today. I'm so grateful to be your colleague, your mentor, your congregant, and dearest of friends. I am so lucky. We are so lucky and appreciative that you are the rabbi of the Birmingham Temple. I cannot fathom a better match in this time and place. From the moment I met you, I was drawn to your warmth and your openness, your responsiveness to me personally, your excitement at finding humanistic Judaism, your genuine eagerness to participate and contribute to the movement, and your unparalleled and delicious sense of humor. Many people know that we first met at the 2009 colloquium. With each successive contact and meeting, I became more attached to you and more impressed by your many talents. In these few short years, you've become a member, the vice president, and now president of the Association of Humanistic Rabbis. You joined the board of the Society for Humanistic Judaism and currently serve on its executive committee. And since your arrival in Detroit in July, and I didn't count them, but you created new high holiday services, a collection of new Shabbat services. You've inspired us with your range and breadth of topics, and you've engaged us with your warmth and compassion and your humor. There are many reasons why I believe that you are the right person to be the rabbi of the Birmingham Temple, so I'm going to share just a few. You are extremely intelligent. See, I added the word extremely. And that intelligence is accompanied by a great knowledge of Judaism, including Jewish texts, history of the Jewish people, Israel, culture, and much more. But more importantly, you have an unending desire, openness to, and unquenchable thirst for more knowledge, which inspires me and others to share in this quest. You love to teach, and you are a very good teacher. Your teaching style is engaging and inclusive. Now, it's wonderful to have passion for things in life. It uplifts us and it energizes us, and you definitely have fire in your belly for humanistic Judaism. And yours is the fervor of a new convert. I believe that every generation needs someone with the enthusiasm that comes with discovery. And the Birmingham Temple, as well as the entire movement, benefits from it. Your zeal also allows you to be a little more outspoken than those of us who grew into the second generation of humanistic Judaism. Just a little more daring. You have a commitment to truth. As we have repeatedly said to one another, truth matters. And with the commitment to pursue and discover truth, learning never ends. We know something is true when we have the evidence to support our claim. But inherent in a commitment to truth is humbleness. It's the humbleness of knowing that new evidence may appear at any moment that will challenge what we believe. Being committed to the truth gives us confidence to say, I don't know. And frankly, people who are willing to say, I don't know, are simply nicer to be around. You told me many times that after your dedication to the philosophy of humanistic Judaism, you wanted to serve the Birmingham Temple because you care about people, and you wanted to incorporate that concern into your daily professional life. Many of us have already experienced your empathy and compassion, your genuine attentiveness, and your desire to relieve suffering and pain with your kind words and your presence. You have already provided and will continue to provide much comfort to those in pain or who are grieving in this community and beyond it. By now, you know that authenticity is a quality that I hold in the highest esteem. I appreciate knowing that I don't have to dig through many layers before I get to the real person, before I get to the real Jeff. Jeff, you've worked hard to establish your authenticity. Authenticity is a challenging quality for a rabbi because we always walk that fine line between being open and available and revealing too much about ourselves. I vote for authenticity over guardedness every time, and ultimately, it makes you a better rabbi. This is a powerfully singular moment in the life of the Birmingham Temple. To celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Temple and Humanistic Judaism, and to install a new rabbi at the same time is a stunning blend of the past with the future. Just as Humanistic Judaism links us to both the past and the future of the Jewish people, so does this installation. In the recent survey of Birmingham Temple members, more than 90% of those responding said that the most important quality for their rabbi to embody is to be professionally competent, able to communicate, counsel, and empower. The second and third most significant characteristics were empathy and character stability, and Rabbi Falick exemplifies these traits. The relationship between a rabbi and his or her congregation is a delicate one. The congregation and its members entrust themselves and their emotional and their spiritual lives to their rabbi. And the rabbi can only do the job well by being consistently vulnerable, which is pretty scary and takes great courage. I urge all of us to treasure the complex nature of the relationship and treat it with the sensitivity it deserves and needs to thrive. Jeff, your presence gives us hope. Your professionalism and competency, your empathy, and your commitment to the philosophy reassures us about the future of the Birmingham Temple and the secular humanistic Jewish movement. As we enter the next half-century of humanistic Judaism, I'm thrilled to install Jeffrey L. Falick as the rabbi of the Birmingham Temple.
President's Pledge on behalf of the Birmingham Temple. On this great evening of celebration, we, the members of the Birmingham Temple, founding congregation of Humanistic Judaism, have also assembled to participate in the installation of Jeffrey Falick as Rabbi of our congregation. We understand that ours is a shared responsibility. We are partners in the leadership of our community, jointly committed to preserving its strengths, addressing its challenges, and preserving it for future generations. We also recognize that our mutual responsibility extends beyond our congregation. We are committed to contributing to our wider Jewish community and to the growth of humanistic Judaism. We are united in our desire to contribute to human dignity and flourishing in the world. In this way, we will bring our philosophy to life through our behavior. We members and leaders will strive to be fair and compassionate to each other. As we strive toward acceptance of one another, so too do we strive for self-acceptance. We must be understanding of our own shortcomings and to remember that, volunteers and professionals alike, we are all human and therefore flawed. We will endeavor to avoid being sidetracked by petty concerns, and we will work to ensure that irrational behavior does not threaten the well-being of our community. We further pledge to engage honestly, openly, and respectfully with our temple staff and our fellow congregants alike. On behalf of the Birmingham Temple, Jeff, we want to give you a beautiful photograph of a lovely gift.
I am honored by the trust you have demonstrated by allowing me the great privilege of serving as the Rabbi of the Birmingham Temple as I formally accept my role as a leader in this congregation. I realize that a good part of your hopes and desires for the success of this community have been placed in me. When I was under consideration for this position, I presented a very specific vision of the rabbinate for your consideration. I told you then that my primary goal would be to create connections on your behalf and as your representative. I invoked a traditional Jewish role known as the Shaliach Tzibur. This title typically denotes the person who prays on behalf of the community. I put a humanistic twist on that idea. I do not represent you to a higher power. I represent you to each other and to the community. I am your servant. At the time, I expressed it this way. A healthy community of humanistic Jews must view its rabbi as an extension of its members' own obligations to each other. Any authority that the rabbi possesses derives from the trust and confidence of the members and volunteer leadership. They, not a higher power, authorize the rabbi to serve the community. As a humanist, I do not represent the imperatives of Jewish law or tradition. I have the training and experience that enables me to teach, perform ceremonies, and provide pastoral care. But I do so on your authority. Whether in my capacity as educator, advisor, pastor, or anything else with which you task me, I will strive to communicate the collective interests and concerns of the community, convening and gathering all of you to do so as my partners. With this in mind, I pledge to work hard furthering the goals of this congregation. I may not always do so perfectly, but I do hope that I will never give you cause to question my sincerity or my efforts. Even as our honeymoon period fades, and we become more accustomed to each other, I promise to always do my best to earn your trust each and every day. I believe in the absolute necessity of humanistic Judaism. I believe in the crucial place of this congregation in our movement. And I believe in each and every one of you, as I hope that you will believe in me. I would like to thank you all for the warm and gracious welcome and support. I have received valuable advice and guidance from many of you, and I hope that you all know that I'm always open to more, even if it involves a critique. I've always labored under the assumption that professional growth is based upon solid self-assessment and the ability to accept constructive criticism. Finally, I want to acknowledge and express my gratitude to our support staff, Mike and Lori, and to my professional partners, Maria, Becca, and Anne-Marie. Over the course of my 24-year career, my relationships with coworkers have been of great significance to me. I was sad to leave my Miami colleagues behind and anxious about forging new relationships here. The embrace that I have received from them has been extraordinary, in keeping with their extraordinary professionalism. I am grateful to be in their company each and every day, and hope that you will always value them as I do. Thank you so very much, and Shabbat Shalom. We continue on page 8.
I have the best place in the service tonight to follow this wonderful event, and I hope I won't offend anybody by telling you that we spent a very active and engaged 8 months to find this wonderful candidate who is now our rabbi. And I would like those people who are here tonight, who are members of the committee, the search committee, to please stand. I think you will agree that all the work we did was absolutely worth it. Where shall the human spirit turn when ancient creeds are dead? What shall our faith as fuel burn when all our faiths have fled? We trust the human spirit still, the tide that brought us here, the sense of good, the human will to learn the way of care. The way is hard and wrong is strong, but we shall triumph yet, as more will join the human song to give as much as get. To see the best in you and me, to share and care for Earth, to serve a new humanity, and bring world peace to birth. Let's all sing together.
Shalom.
In this community where we find strength and common purpose, we turn our minds and hearts toward all those who need our love and support, those who are ill, those who suffer pain of the body or spirit, those who are lonely, those who have been wronged. Tonight, we send our best wishes for a speedy recovery to Sam Gaff. And if you have someone that you'd like to add, as I go around the room, please raise your hand and say the name. Yes, Trina.
Robert Yen.
Thank you. Yes.
Justine.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Yes, B.
Don Bernstein.
Leonard Natinsky.
Amy Long.
Anyone else on this side? Yes.
Jack York.
Thank you. Yes.
Elisa Severn.
Thank you, Marsha.
Marcy Zussman.
Thank you.
Rabbi Rosenberg.
Anyone else? May all who suffer know that they are not alone. May they be healed quickly. May they experience a complete recovery, the renewal of body and the renewal of spirit.
You sing with me.
From My Mother's Home, a poem by Leah Goldberg. My mother's mother died in the spring of her days, and her daughter did not remember her face. Her portrait, engraved in my grandfather's heart, was struck from the world of images after his death. Only her mirror remains, sunk deeper with age into its silver frame, and I, her pale granddaughter, who do not resemble her, peer into it today as if it were a pool, hiding its treasures under the water. Deep, deep down, beyond my face, I see a young woman, pink-cheeked and smiling, a wig on her head. She is putting a long earring into the lobe of her ear, threading it through a tiny hole in the delicate flesh. Deep, deep beyond my face shines her eyes, bright gold. The mirror carries on the family tradition that she was beautiful.
Our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us. Our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died of this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. As tonight we recall the recent passing of Helen Husid, Barbara Behrens Rubenstein, Hera Kane, and Hugh William Greenberg, together with the yard sites of Pearl Broida, Dr. Julius Gitlin, Gloria Gitlin, Miriam Cora, Soretta Rain, Max Vander, Ilse Weinberg, Julian Ziegler, Lou Freeman, Alan Abramson, Beatrice Cohen, Lillian Sherman, Benjamin Miller, and Julian Unger. If you have someone that you'd like to recall, once again, as I go around the room, please raise your hand and share the name with our congregation. Yes.
Jerry Erwin.
Thank you. And down here.
Gloria Vogel.
Thank you.
Dr. Gregory
Shannon House Peter.
Thank you. Yes.
Very green.
Stone.
Okay, and
Jeanette Ross.
Arthur Bierman.
thank you.
Sally Morgan.
Can I say that again?
Sally Morgan.
Thank you. Yes.
Rose Cage.
David Krieger.
Thank you.
Miranda Breezefield.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes. Thank you. Are there any other names? Yes.
Molly.
Thank you. Yes.
Harry Vila.
Anyone else? If you would like to join us on the bema to light a candle in memory of anyone who we've lost, please do so now. Shabbat. May the memories of each of these beloved people provide us with blessing each and every day of our lives. If you can do so comfortably, please rise as we recite the Humanistic Nitgadal v'nitchadash beruach ha'adam. Let us enhance and exalt ourselves in the spirit of humanity. Let us acclaim the preciousness of life. Let us show gratitude for life by approaching it with reverence. Let us embrace the whole world, even as we wrestle with its parts. Let us, each in our own way, take up our share in serving the world and seeking truth. May our commitment to life help us to strengthen healing of spirit and peace of mind. May the healing and peace permeate and comfort all of Israel and all those who dwell on earth. And let us say, Ken Yehi, may it be so. Please be seated. Before we get to our main presentation tonight, I'd like to invite Bonnie Cousins, Executive Director of the Society for Humanistic Judaism, as a special presentation.
I'm really happy to be here, not only because the Birmingham Temple is my humanistic Jewish home, but because I come as a representative of the Society for Humanistic Judaism, our North American organization. You've heard a lot tonight about our history, our 50 years. Sherwin Wine would have said this is a historic occasion. And it is. We're looking back. And if you want to know more about the history, in a few months, you will have a publication from the Society for Humanistic Judaism in your hands that tells the story of our beginnings. But tonight, we're also looking forward to what is coming for us as we move on to our next 50 years. For almost everybody in this room, Sherwin Wine and the Birmingham Temple are our history. For our new rabbi, he is only history. And what happened here is a story that he has been learning and a movement he has embraced. So we are celebrating both our past and our present and our future. And we want to recognize the Birmingham Temple for all that it has done. So I'm going to ask our current president, Larry Ellenbogen, and our new rabbi, Jeff Falick, to join me as I read from our celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Birmingham Temple. The Society for Humanistic Judaism congratulates the Birmingham Temple on the occasion of their 50th anniversary for pioneering a philosophy of Judaism that allows us to say what we believe and believe what we say, for modeling a vision of humanistic Jewish community, for giving birth to the Society for Humanistic Judaism so that others may find a meaningful Jewish identity that expresses their values, for nurturing and providing professional and lay leadership for the movement of humanistic Judaism, and for giving birth to a movement that provides a meaningful Jewish home for us all. For the Birmingham Temple